Test it. I'll be going in about 2 minutes, everyone. On behalf of Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino and the men and women of the Lee County Sheriff's Office, we want to welcome everyone to today's Do the Right Thing ceremony for the month of May 2022. This is our last ceremony of the school year, and we're so happy that you could join us live here in the school board chambers as well as watching on the school district's YouTube channel. I'm Tony Shaw. I'm the director of the Do the Right Thing program, and again, we're very happy you've joined us. We got some fantastic stories to share with everyone today. But before we get started, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and today that's going to be led by Brianna Mendes.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
All right, you may be seated. Thank you, Brianna. I want to begin today's ceremony by acknowledging the School Board of Lee County, Chairperson Debbie Jordan with District 4, Vice Chairperson Bessie Vaughn with District 6, Mary Fisher, District 1, Melissa Giovanelli with District 2, Chris Patrica, District 3, Gwinnetta Gittens with District 5, and Kathleen Morgan with District 7. We appreciate all you do for our student recognition program. Let's have a round of applause for our school board. And representing Sheriff Marcino today is Lieutenant Sylvester Smalls with our Youth Services Division. He'll be assisting us today with passing out our awards and trophies, and he's got a couple of words to share with us on behalf of Sheriff Marcino.
Yeah, I am Lieutenant Sylvester Smalls. Smalls is my last name. I know we have an oxymoron type of thing going. And as you can see, the mic is real low, but on behalf of Sheriff Marcino, congratulations to all the winners and keep the good luck going. Keep it up.
Thank you, Lieutenant Smalls. Also, our personnel assisting with today's ceremony are members of our civilian support unit. They have on black and white shirts in the back today. We couldn't do this without them. They do this all on a volunteer basis. So again, thank you to our civilian support unit. Also, I want to thank Beth Shell, Tiffany Wood, and Heather Turco with the Sheriff's Office, and Dave Alexander and Emily Emmerich with the school district. They are the ones that take care of our lighting, our sound, our live broadcasts on YouTube. We couldn't do this without them, so thank you to what you do as well. And we are delighted to introduce Lee County's new superintendent today. Dr. Christopher Bernier literally started the job on Monday, so this is his 4th day with us. Again, let's welcome Dr. Bernier, and he's got a few words to share with everyone as well.
We're proud of the Red Sox. Thank you. Just making a comment to the young man in case their parents think he was in trouble with the superintendent. I'm a Red Sox fan. I just wanted to make sure he understood that. So in this day and age, where so many of the reports about our young people get printed in the newspapers, other places with their interactions with law enforcement, are not as positive as we'd like them to be. This program, which I've watched from afar since December, and then watched the other opportunities for young people to be rewarded for doing the right thing. What an amazing opportunity to impact community and recognize parents and students for the way that you raise your children within your own home to do the right thing each and every time. The Do the Right Thing partnership, if my research is correct, dates back to 1997, and during that period of time, 5,300 students have been recognized. I'm looking forward to all the student stories tonight, but I'm also looking forward to one in particular about a young man who helped save his grandmother at a baseball field. And having the opportunity to meet that young man and all the other recipients today, because we are all so proud of all of you for choosing to do the right thing. There are choices in life day to day, and we have young people who are doing the right thing, and these wonderful students are our opportunity to recognize not just them, but to know that deeper into our organization, into our schools, there are a lot of other young people not represented today that are doing the right thing as well. Congratulations to the parents, but also congratulations to the students. Thank you to the Sheriff's Department for your partnership, and I'll turn the microphone back over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bernier, and again, welcome to Lee County. I mentioned the school board earlier, and a school board member has been a particular friend to Do the Right Thing, and that's school board member Chris Patrica. She gets here about every 3rd month, it seems like, and she always has a wonderful story to tell, so I'm going to let board member Chris Patrica.
Thank you so much for an opportunity to address you guys. Can I get all you kids to stand up, please? The reason why I'm asking you to stand is because you would not be here being recognized for doing the right thing if it wasn't for your parents and guardians in the audience. So could you please give them a round of applause? Thank you. You can sit down again. Parents, guardians, you are absolutely instrumental to the success of Beck. Once said that talent is the floor, character is the ceiling. So what you've instilled in your children gives them limitless potential because they have the character to do absolutely anything in this world. My message for you kids is this. Does anybody here have a favorite sports star? Raise your hand if you have a favorite sports star. My Red Sox guy down here should be raising his hand because the whole Red Sox team is your favorite, right? So my favorite is Mac Jones. The new wonderful best quarterback in the NFL. Do you think Mac Jones is a great quarterback just because he showed up one day? What do you think? Think he practices over and over and over again? You know what that's called? That's called muscle memory. Muscle memory makes it so that when you do something over and over and over again, it becomes instinctive. You do it automatically without even thinking about it. So many of you kids here today are young and you've done the right thing. Try to make that part of your muscle memory. Try to make it so that every single time a decision comes in front of you, you choose to do the right thing. Eventually, it will become instinctive. Eventually, you will do it without even thinking about it. And that's when your possibilities in life really become endless. I congratulate you for being here today. I congratulate you for doing the right thing, and I'm incredibly, incredibly proud of you. Have a great ceremony. Thanks.
Board Member Chris Patrica, thank you very much. We also appreciate the support we get from our business community. This would not be possible without their donations, since this program is run entirely on donations. Our two main sponsors are the Do the Right Thing program are Lee Electric Cooperative and Alliance Financial Group. Again, without their generosity, we couldn't be honoring the students behind us today, so thank you again to our sponsors. I want to start off today with an award we give out only once a year, the Do the Right Thing School of the Year. This year's Do the Right Thing School of the Year goes to Tortuga Preserve Elementary. Let's have a round of applause for Tortuga Preserve Elementary. Come on up and accept your plaque. The principal of Tortuga Preserve is Jennifer Shonak, and school resource officer is Corporal Carolyn Gomez. Now, there were several schools in the running for School of the Year. What put Tortuga Preserve over the top was not only the number and quality of the nominations, but also the number of different teachers and staff that made those nominations. That shows that the school has a full buy-in for the Do the Right Thing program. They're enthusiastic about rewarding students for good, positive behavior. And I should mention this is the second year in a row that Tortuga Preserve has been honored with School of the Year. Thanks for all you do. Let's have a round of applause for our School of the Year, Tortuga Preserve Elementary. Our next award today is an entire class from River Hall Elementary School. Come on up. We have Principal Jody Palakis and School Resource Officer Deputy Ed Vandal, again with River Hall Elementary. Let's go up there, we'll get some pictures. Thanks so much. We are honoring Mrs. Gunn's homeroom 4th grade class today. Now, we couldn't bring all 27 of them here, but if you take a look at the monitor behind me, we actually went to the school last week and did a ceremony. There they are, the entire class. Now, Deputy Ed Vandal, the SRO, made the nomination, and he writes, I would like to nominate Mrs. Gunn's 4th grade class for the Do the Right Thing Award. Recently, just before dismissal, there was a medical emergency involving a student in science class. The class appropriately responded by notifying the teacher of the medical concern. The teacher, Mrs. Clifford, then activated her Centegex badge to call for assistance. The class then calmly and collectively exited silently and stayed in the hallway, giving the privacy and space to the student experiencing the medical emergency. The student was assessed by the school clinician and Lee County Emergency Medical Services and transported to the nearest medical facility. I believe Mrs. Gunn's homeroom class should be recognized for their swift action and respectful response to ensure their classmate received proper medical attention. Thank you, Mrs. Gunn's 4th grade class. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is Esme Easton. Let's have a round of applause for Esme Easton. Esme attends Three Oaks Middle School. Her principal is Mason Clark, and school resource officer is Deputy Timothy Harder. And those with Esme can please come up front, and we will share her story. Don't be shy, come on up. Esme is a 7th grader at Three Oaks Middle. Assistant Principal Richard Barta writes, A couple weeks ago, Esme was dropped off at the student drop-off in front of the school. On any given morning, there's usually 100 students being dropped off, and it can get quite hectic. When Esme got out of her car, she noticed an opened wallet laying on the ground. She did not look inside for any identification, but immediately turned it over to an adult without hesitation. The student that had dropped the wallet had no idea they'd dropped the wallet, and to find out there was nearly $100 inside. Thanks to Esme, the owner of the wallet was quite relieved to get it back. Esme, you showed great integrity and honesty by immediately turning in the wallet. Thanks for saving the day. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Garrett Lewis. Let's have a round of applause for Garrett Lewis. Garrett Lewis here? Come on up, Garrett. The Red Sox man, being shy on us. Garrett attends Bayshore Elementary School. His principal is Ben Osman, and school resource officer is Deputy Kelsey Waldrop. And those with Garrett can please come forward and we'll share Garrett's story. Redo. I want to center a little bit better slide. Let's try to get this family in the center here so we can get some good pictures. Garrett is a first grader at Bayshore Elementary School. Teacher Tammy Morrison writes, Garrett is a great student. He always goes above and beyond each day at school. He is always very helpful to me as well as his classmates. For instance, in the mornings as they are coming to class, Garrett takes the initiative to hand out papers and explain what they are supposed to do before I even get the chance to. At recess, Garrett always shares and makes sure others have someone to play with. At reading time, he helps students around him who are having difficulty with the page number in their book. Garrett is also courteous, holding the door open for adults without being asked. Garrett, you are setting a great example for other students at your school. Thank you, and keep up the great work. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Is Jemarai Irons here? Did she make it? Did not make it. We will give her a private ceremony at her school. Up next, we're going to honor two students together, Brianna Mendes and Brittany Nichols. Let's have a round of applause for Brianna and Brittany. Remember, too, you were going to flip-flop, remember? There we go. Brianna and Brittany attend Sunshine Elementary School. They're both in the 4th grade. The principal is Aaron Brandow, and school resource officer is Deputy Rodolphus Hall. And those with Brianna and Brittany can please come up front, and we will share their story. Teacher Lori O'Hara writes, as we approach the end of the school year, our class has discussed the concept of initiative, of taking responsibility for learning and doing things to get work finished without constant reminders from teachers. Brianna was absent a few weeks back. Even though this was right after spring break, she remembered by telling the class that we would have a timed, proactive writing test when we returned. Brianna took the initiative to contact another classmate and find out what the prompt was and worked on the practice essay at home. She not only decided to do the work she was missing, but took the steps on her own to find out what the work was. Regarding Brittany, she was in my tutoring class when I noticed Brittany writing in a notebook. I went over to see what she was doing. Was she drawing when she should have been paying attention to the vocabulary words we were reviewing? I was delighted to find that instead, Brittany was taking careful notes on the new vocabulary words and their definitions. While we emphasized taking notes in the core classes, I hadn't actually told the students in my tutoring class to do that. Brittany chose to take those notes all on her own. And since then, I noticed her going back to the notebook and using her notes in future lessons and activities. I am very impressed. Brianna and Brittany, it sounds like you are showing great initiative indeed. Keep up the good work. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is Riley Lanigan. Let's have a round of applause for Riley Lanigan. Riley attends Buckingham Exceptional Student Center and is in the 8th grade. Riley's principal is Dr. Vicki Gohagan Mosley, and school resource officer is Deputy Matt Grant. And those with Riley can please come up front. We'll share his story. All right, let's scrunch in together. Don't be shy. All right. Teacher Cheryl Zito writes, there are two things I'd like to nominate Riley for, and they are both having to do with friends. The first thing he did was to include one of his friends that happens to be in a wheelchair. Riley was on a walk with me and another student around the track. At the far end of the track were trees that had dropped a lot of leaves on the ground. We were kicking the leaves and having fun. The student in the wheelchair had her feet strapped to the foot plates. After realizing how much fun we were having, Riley asked me to unstrap the student's feet so she could kick the leaves too. It was very intuitive of Riley to think of including the other student. Riley also held up letter cards for a student who is nonverbal, and he would wait for the student to identify and use the eye gaze computer to say the letter on the card. Riley was very patient and would help celebrate when they identified the letter correctly. Riley, thank you for always thinking of and helping others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next, we're going to honor 3 students together: Jaslyn Morales, Monariah Best Means, and Cleo Arrington. Let's have a round of applause for Jaslyn, Monariah, and Cleo. The 3 ladies attend Varsity Lakes Middle School. Their principal is Dr. Scott Lee Master, and school resource officer Deputy Robert Rabbit. And will those with Jaslyn, Manaria, and Cleo please come forward to share their story? Life skills teacher Karen Whiteman writes, Jaslyn, Manaria, and Cleo all stated they wanted to be part of our Best Buddies program. The Best Buddy program pairs students with intellectual disabilities with students who don't have intellectual disabilities. All 3 students have been an amazing best buddy to students in the Life Skills program. They have unbelievable patience, are wonderful role models, and have a strong desire to help others. Jaslyn, Manariah, and Cleo have all contributed to make the Best Buddy program a huge success and have made a huge difference in these students' lives. Jaslyn, Manaria, and Cleo, thank you for volunteering and excelling at something that is so important to others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Ian Tyler. Let's have a round of applause for Ian Tyler. Ian attends G. Weaver Hips Elementary. His principal is Dr. Deborah Noss, and school resource officer is Deputy Michelle Henson. And will those with Ian please come up front? We'll share Ian's story. Ian is a first grader at G. Weaver Hips Elementary. Teacher Brooke Marthaler writes, Ian is good at helping calm his classmates who can struggle with tasks and have emotional issues in the class or at lunch. He takes the time to encourage his peers and sit and talk them through a task that they may find difficult. Ian also at times has requested a seat change because, as he said, Miss Marthaler, can you please move my seat to so-and-so spot? I want to help encourage him to make the right choices and get the work done. He is just an all-around fantastic student and friend to all. Ian, you're doing a great job helping your classmates. Keep it up. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Jeremiah Prey is next. Let's have a round of applause for Jeremiah Prey. Jeremiah also attends G. Weaver Hips Elementary, where he is in the kindergarten. And those with Jeremiah can please come up front. Teacher Jennifer Lasowski writes, I nominate Jeremiah because throughout the school year he has always strived for and achieved excellence. Excellence in how he conducts himself with his friends and teachers in the school. Jeremiah always pays attention, shows interest in the subject matter, asks thoughtful questions, and isn't afraid to ask for clarification when needed. This reflects the straight A's he has maintained all school year. Jeremiah frequently volunteers to assist, to sit with or stand next to a classmate who may have challenging behavior at times, even if it means giving up being close to his friends. So much of the time, children who display challenging behavior are the ones that are known to the administration, other teachers, and around the school. Children like Jeremiah, who carry forward with quiet dignity, deserve recognition and praise for their efforts so they can continue to spread their positivity and inspire others to also do the right thing. Jeremiah, you are undoubtedly very mature for a kindergartner. Keep up the great work. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up, we are going to honor 6 students together. Mackenzie Garland, Spencer White, Aiden Morgan, Artemis Kennedy, Jasmari Cologne, and Brianna Hopkins. Come on down, everyone. All right. The students all attend Lee Virtual School, where the principal is Dr. Martha Iovine. And those with our 6 students can please come forward and we'll share their story. Heather Riley writes, Mackenzie, Spencer, Aiden, Artemis, Jez Marie, and Brianna all joined our book battle club in November, as you can see by their t-shirts, and immediately stood out among the other participants in the club. All participated in the meetings and communicated their reading progress on a consistent basis. When it came time to select students for the book battle team, all 6 of these students immediately rose to the top. They are committed to the team, reliable, responsible, and very respectful. As an aside, Jez Marie read 12 of the 15 books, and Artemis and Spencer read all 15 books. Wow, what a team. Congratulations on excelling on the book battle team. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Jordan Coleman. Let's have a round of applause for Jordan Coleman. Jordan attends Lee Virtual School, where he is in the 5th grade. And those with Jordan can please come forward. Teacher Lisa Flannery writes, at Lee Virtual, I offer live sessions to our 5th graders 4 days a week. At first, students were attending inconsistently, but not Jordan. There was even a time when he had to go to the store with his grandma to be able to log in. Yes, my 5th grader Jordan was logged in on his Chromebook in the shopping cart while his older brother pushed him around the store. When Jordan did miss class, it was because he was helping his church. He spent the entire day packing and lifting boxes to help others. He even showed me the bruise from when he fell, but he showed it with a smile because he was happy to help. Jordan lives with his grandma, who continually models compassion. Jordan's interest and drive allowed him to attend a particular church event unavailable to his age group. I am personally proud of his academic and social growth throughout the school year and want him to know that doing the right thing matters. It certainly does, Jordan. Thank you for being such a great role model and for volunteering at your church. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Esar Parent. Let's have a round of applause for Esar Parent. Esar attends Veterans Park Academy for the Arts. His principal is Ed Carter, and school resource officer is Corporal Mike Milano. Those with Esar can please come up front. Teacher Jennifer Compitelli writes, Esar possesses the moral character that every parent attempts to instill in their child. Mr. and Mrs. Parent, you have done an amazing job with your children. Esar is always kind and courteous and encourages his peers to do their best every day. I first met Esar at parent pickup. I made a silly joke saying, "The parent kids, your parents are here to pick you up." After that, he greets me every day with, "Good morning, Miss Compitelli." He even laughs at my corny jokes as many times as I make them. Esar strives for perfection and tends to be hard on himself, but he will not settle for anything but the best. He is currently enrolled in advanced classes at school, but balances his academics with multiple sports, including volleyball and soccer. In math class, he'll be embarrassed when I say this, but he'll ask, "Is there homework tonight?" When I tell him yes, he'll celebrate with a yes, excited that he gets to practice to better his understanding of the subject. Esar is a student that every teacher cherishes. He is everything that we all aspire to be, and I want to make sure everyone knows how truly special you are. Esar, you are a true rarity when it comes to getting excited for homework. Great job. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Andrew Carbaugh is next. Let's have a round of applause for Andrew Carbaugh. Andrew attends Bonita Springs Elementary. His principal is Rob Cooper, and school resource officer is Lieutenant Angelo Vaughn. And those with Andrew can please come forward. Teacher Kendra Angeles Garcia writes, "Andrew is one of my 4th grade students this year. He is very clever, sweet, and funny. He has a fun personality and never fails to have a smile on his face. Andrew is a good friend to many other students, and they always seem to enjoy his company. Recently, Andrew overheard a student saying something inappropriate to another student during lunch. The student that was told this stayed quiet, but Andrew knew that it was completely unacceptable. He shared the disturbing information with the principal. I'm very proud of how Andrew stepped up, but am not surprised as he has shown honesty throughout many situations. I'm very proud of his progress that he has made this year, and I wish him many more achievements in the future." Andrew, thank you for leading by example. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is Joseph Estevez Sosa. A round of applause for Joseph Estevez Sosa. Joseph attends Lexington Middle School. His principal is Christian Bueno, and school resource officer is Deputy Patrick Sellers. And those with Joseph can please come up front. School resource officer Deputy Patrick Sellers writes, "Joseph was exiting the school, and while in the stairway observed 2 pieces of paper affixed to the wall that contained a written threat and disturbing artwork. Joseph removed the paper so more students would not see them and brought them to the attention of administration, which was then brought to my attention. An investigation was immediately launched and any threat was quickly eliminated. Thank you to Joseph for keeping everyone at our school safe." Joseph, that was very courageous. Thank you for doing the right thing. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is proud of you. Is Aaliyah Batiste here? All right, we'll have a private ceremony at her school. Up next is Cooper Johnson. Round of applause for Cooper Johnson. Cooper attends Pinewoods Elementary and is in the 2nd grade. His principal is Leslie Gunderson, and school resource officer is Deputy Latima Murray. And those with Cooper can please come up front. Cooper's baseball coach, Joey Huglin, who is also a lieutenant with the Lee County Sheriff's Office, writes, 8-year-old Cooper Johnson demonstrated quick thinking and bravery when he did the right thing. While en route to baseball practice for the Cape Coral Crush at BMX Sports Complex, Cooper's grandmother experienced a diabetic emergency when her blood sugar went dangerously low. She became disoriented and became lost on Santa Barbara Boulevard. As his grandmother was pulled over, unable to unlock her iPhone, Cooper used his iPod through the car's Bluetooth and called 911 to help first responders locate their vehicle. Cooper remained calm and helpful during the emergency situation. His ability to take action and call 911 to help his grandma contributed to saving her life. As one of his baseball coaches, I am extremely proud of him on a daily basis, but this heroic action deserves special recognition. Cooper, what a remarkable thing to stay calm and help your grandmother like you did. You are very deserving of this award, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Esther Gould is next. Let's have a round of applause for Esther Gould. Esther attends Harns Marsh Elementary School. Her principal is Leslie Gunderson, and school resource officer is Deputy Angela Postradensic. And those with Esther can please come forward. Esther was nominated by her former school resource officer, Deputy Christine Zumbrum. Deputy Zumbrum writes, when I mentioned to staff at Harns Marsh about nominating Esther for the Do the Right Thing Award, it was received with an overwhelming absolutely. Esther starts off her morning by being a responsible big sister, making sure her younger sister makes it to school safely. Esther is a member of the school safety patrol and takes every responsibility given very seriously. For a period of time, one of Esther's responsibilities included raising and lowering the flag each day. Esther learned very quickly the rules for raising and lowering the flag, as well as folding the flag like a pro. Ashley Simons, who runs the media center, who also worked very closely with Esther as she assisted her in the mornings with putting away books and a variety of other duties, Mrs. Simons expressed that Esther always showed up on time, learned very quickly, and did everything she was asked with a smile on her face. Esther, thanks for being a shining example for your school. People are expecting big things from you in the future, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. And our final Do the Right Thing Award recipient of the school year is Giovanna Bocchino. Let's have a round of applause for Giovanna Bocchino. Giovanna attends Estero High School. Her principal is Mike Amabile, and school resource officers are Deputy Nichols Tallarico and Deputy Dave Wharton. Those with Giovanna can please come forward. Giovanna is a senior at Estero High School and is enrolled at the school's medical academy and works as a pharmacy tech at Publix. Career specialist Kelly Thawley writes, a patient who had just been discharged from the hospital for open heart surgery and was on several medications called the Publix pharmacy and said she was not feeling right. Giovanna had answered the phone and asked the patient if she was able to check her blood pressure. Her numbers were in the 200s. Giovanna handled the call with compassion and professionalism. She made decisions with the skills learned through her medical academy at Estero High School, led by instructor Cindy DeSimone. The training received in their academy prepared them for critical situations such as this. Emergency crews were called and the patient was transported to a local hospital. It was determined that if the patient had waited much longer, it could have turned fatal. We are grateful to Miss DeSimone as well as the Medical Academy at Estero High School for preparing Giovanna for her future career in nursing. Giovanna, you've proven yourself already, and we know you're going to be a great nurse. Congratulations, and thanks from the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Remember to subscribe to the Lee County School District's YouTube channel, and you can watch today's ceremony or any ceremony during this school year on the YouTube channel. Now, everyone, if you want to stick around, we're going to have a group photo in just a couple of seconds. Again, this is our final ceremony for 2021-2022. I want to thank everyone here today for attending and everyone for watching us on YouTube. One more time, let's give everybody a standing ovation. Everyone, we want to get you up here for some group photos really quick. Listen, when we're done, the intention was to get the